Hi, it's Mike Wood from Telstra. Welcome to Sydney Harbour. We're opposite the Opera House. We've got Sydney Harbour Bridge in the background. It's the third week of May and we've got glorious weather down here. This is a fantastic day to be out surveying. Now, we're road testing the new Signal Shark from Narda. This goes from 200 megahertz to 8 gigahertz. What we're doing today is we're looking at all of the mobile bands, and there's a couple of options we've got on this unit. We can either look at the channel power across all the radio frequency bands and look at the average and the maximum. That's one set of readings that we want to do. And that's a very useful setup because that captures everything in one go, and we can look at the channel power and integrate over the band. Or we can go into the 5G Analyser mode and look at the individual network operators. So from our perspective, we can go and choose the Telstra band and look at the actual radio frequencies extrapolated for Telstra at this location. So there's two options. So I'm going to show you the extrapolation mode first. So if you want to come in and maybe put the umbrella over so we can actually look at the screen. So what we're looking at here is this is the entire radio frequency spectrum from 200 megahertz to 4 gigahertz. These are the 5G channels and these are our 4G channels down here. Now we're measuring the average power density, that's the average field strength, but I'm going to change the display and the units, and I'm going to go into percentage to give you, so we're now looking at a percentage of the standard and we've restarted our trace. So this is going to build up, it's going to build up our trace as it does a number of runs. But the interesting thing to watch is watch what the average value does and watch what the maximum value does. Now that's going to creep up, and there's a lot of activity with everybody using the mobiles. But while that's doing the background tests, I'm going to show you the 5G Analyser. So if I go into the option mode and I hit 5G, it's bringing up the Signal Shark 5G Analyser. This will then allow me to go into the 5G EMF extrapolation application, which I'm going to touch. And then it's ready for me to do a survey. So I'm going to hit record in a minute, but Nasser, I'm going to ask if you can do a speed test on the Telstra 5G band, and maybe hold the phone down there so we can see the speed test when it runs. And we're connecting up with our speed test. Right, so I'm going to hit record, and I've put it in, it knows the frequency range, it's doing a spectrograph chart or a spectrogram plot, and you'll see the results come up in a minute. It's merging the data. Now, what we can see when it finishes its run, that's the uplink now, that'll be fine. If we have a look back here, I'm going to go OK. We've got 3 antennas in the probe. We've got the X, Y, and Z axis, and it's measuring the actual levels in microwatts per meter squared from the, this one is the X, this is the Y, and this is the Z, and then extrapolates it to what the maximum will be for the Telstra 5G band, which is 4.6 milliwatts per meter squared. Now that's well below the public safety limit. The safety limit is 10 watts per meter squared, so that's well below. And it's detecting, you can see on the screen, it's detected the highest resource block element with the highest signal strength, and that's what it's doing the extrapolation to. So this allows us to look at the Telstra band, or any operator to look at their frequency band and extrapolate what the maximum will be for 5G at this location. Now we ran a speed test. I'm going to run it again without activating it. Okay, I'm doing another run. We're not activating speed test, so it's just the traffic, and we'll see what we get for the results. It's updating the spectrum analyzer or the spectrogram, and we'll wait for the diagrams to update. Now remember, we were activating 5G speed test before. The levels are a little bit lower. It's now down at 127 microwatts. So we've dropped in signal strength on 5G at this location. And you can see there's no red elements in the spectrogram that we're recording. So this is a way of actually looking at the Telstra 5G signal strength on a particular frequency. So if you needed to go in and lodge the 5G levels from any of the mobile operators, from any of the carrier bands or any of the operators, this is a way to go in to do it in a more detailed way. Now, that's quite time consuming, but what it enables you to do, if someone has a concern about your service or you want to know what it is from a particular operator, that's the way to do it. The other way is to look at the channel power across and extrapolate over a bandwidth. I'm going to rerun that, Nat. So we're going to come back in, And what we're doing is we're integrating over this band, and I'm going to put it back into display units, and this is a live look at how it works. So what we're doing now is we've reset it, and we're going to look at percentage. The maximum value is the second one, the average value is the first one. Now they're all very low, but we're going to let this run for 6 minutes, and it'll pretty well stabilize then, because with so many people down here, there's a lot of activity, as you can see on the blue bar here. Now, the advantage of doing channel power and integrating over the whole band is that you're capturing everything in the one go. So that's a real time saver, particularly if you don't know the operators that are around, or you don't have all of the details. You can see what's here right now. And we can see that the maximum level has increased. It's about 2%. But the public safety limit is 100. The public safety limit is this top line, which is 100%. So the maximum is well below the public safety limit. But what we're interested in is actually the average level. It's 0.052%. So that's well over 1,000 times below the public safety limit. So what we've got here is we're measuring all the radio frequency channels, all of the mobile bands, including 5G. We're measuring the average level and the maximum. And what it's showing us here at Sydney Harbour is that we've got, there's a lot of people down here. There's fantastic connections. All the mobiles are working really well. And we've got really low EMF levels. So in summary, what the Signal Shark allows you to do with the 5G extrapolation tool is to look at individual bands or individual network operators, but also to be able to look at the whole radio frequency spectrum. So that's a bit of a snapshot. And you know what? On a Saturday afternoon, I couldn't pick a better location to come and do a network survey with the Opera House and the Harbour Bridge behind us.